Hello Multiverse, welcome to Omniverse Gamers. My name is Damien Bazzaio. This video is going to talk about a West Marshes at sea. Seen my story-based West Marsh video. It was a system where I took a West Marsh game and I put storylines to it, story spokes is what I call them, and it just became a really cool, fun idea. Basically, it's a way to use fast travel to add storylines to your West Marshes so that the players can create stories as the West Marsh grows from the center. The map's not made. The players will populate the world and the storylines as they play. So it's just a little concept that I've kind of been experimenting with for the last 2 years. After watching Matt Colville's West Marshes video, I've been tweaking with it and tinkering with it and adding storylines to it. So the thing about a story-based West Marsh is the players. It's just like a West Marsh. You're at home base, and every session starts at home, and you go out from home to wherever part of the world you want to go. And there are storylines, and as progression goes to each storyline, you kind of tie them in together. Each episode goes to a new place. Players write down that place on their map. Next time they can go wherever they want that anybody has on their map. So it doesn't matter who plays, as long as one of the players has that place that's on their map. The next session, anybody can go there. So this was a thing I did on land a couple times. So when lockdowns first started happening, we were just, what are we going to do? All my games went on hold, all my live games and stuff. So I decided to start a game online. I was like, oh, let's do a West Marsh online. That'll be fun, we play with whoever's there online. It just seemed like to work for COVID, you know what I mean? Then I was thinking I already have 2 land ones going. I don't really want to, what if I did it at sea? It's like no one's had. And I looked it up, and no one didn't really have any information on that. But I was like, well, why can't I do it at sea? Instead of the main town being the home base where everybody goes from, you have a ship, and the ship is your hometown. You're hired as merc. I have a couple of different ways I set it up, and I'll talk about that in a different video, how I set up the Ashen Sea, this actual game, and the specifics on it. But basically, the boat is home base, and you populate a bunch of islands. Basically, instead of having story spokes like this on land, I'll show you. This is a map of some islands. It's a really rough map. It's just Roll20. This is more of a quest log than a map, if you think about it that way. You see, I have these different islands. And there was different quests they did on each island. They went to the first island the first day. They just had to fight some more. It was really basic. The next session you add a little bit each session, and then you just kind of present the islands to them, and they get to pick which island they go to every session. They pick an island. They do the next encounter on that island. They progress the story on that island. And then just like the other West March with the spokes, you kind of interconnect them all, and they kind of make, in this one, it was my third one, so I had a really good idea of how to connect everything. And right off the bat, I started with a simple idea of dragons versus gods. It was basically these ancient Lachey elves versus the giants and their gods in a battle that the ancient Lachey, the elves, they basically made a deal with these interplanar dragons to come help them fight the giant gods. But what they did is they invited the dragon gods into their world, and they just destroyed it. So this Ashen Sea is this destroyed world from this remnants of this war. And the giants are, there's all kinds of different things that are going on that I'll talk about in the actual Ashen Sea video when I put that out. But anyway, I just had a really simple concept. That was the concept. And in this game, we've now run, I'd like to say, 40 maybe sessions of this game, and it's crazy big and it's crazy intricate. These story-based West Marshes, player-driven story-based West Marshes build themselves, and they become very crazily intricate. And this sea one is basically just facilitated by the boat. They have to go back on the boat. When they pick an island, the boat will swing by. It'll drop them off onto this little rowboat. They have these rowers that will row them out into the island. They say when they want to come back, come pick us up in an hour, or come pick us up in a day, or come pick us up in whatever time they decide, and the big ship will swing back. So I have this mechanic where the big ship never stops moving. It's a story thing, but it was a mechanical thing too. So the ship couldn't just sit there, and they couldn't just go back and forth to the ship and long rest. The ship would drop them off. They're on their own doing their mission, just like they would be out in the wilderness from the West Marsh. But when they're done, they come back. They can signal the ship, and the ship will come pick them up, and the longboat will going back to the boss. That's just a way to facilitate the mechanics of this game. Same thing, we do the fast travel. They can just fast travel to whatever island they want to go to and go through the progression to the storyline, just like the original West Marsh video. I just wanted to share this with you guys, an idea of how to have a West Marsh at sea. If you watch my story-based West Marsh, if you just any West Marsh, really, it's literally the same concept. You go out from the center, but instead of going out from the center, it's kind of like you're building up from the island. The islands are like little mini quests on their own. Each island, I try to have each island have its own theme. Like Magnolia Island's like a puzzle island, very mysterious puzzles. But the giant nature god is trapped there, so there's all this weird balance stuff. Then there's like the giant island where these giants are kind of been de-evolved, and they have beach parties, and they're like rowdy teenagers, and that's just that island has like that kind of a feel to it. There's an island where there's like they just find throne rooms, and they find these it's the ancient civilization of the Shays on this one island, and there's another island where there's this fractured god that's been regenerating these other creatures that are really vicious, and they just, every little island has its own little feel. There's one island where there's a temple in the center, and there's 5 tribes around. The biggest island is there's just 5 tribes. If you want to see how that exactly works, check out the Ash and Sea video when it comes out. I'll have eventually I'll have a thing up to it, but you'll see it on the channel if you subscribe or whatever. So, but yeah, I just want to show you guys this example how you can have a West Marsh at sea, and have a pirate themed game, and have a West March all at the same time. It's super fun, super cool. And yeah, we are Omniverse Gamers. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Like I said, when I get the Ash and Sea video up, I'll put the link to it so you can check that one out, how I actually set that one up, and maybe give you some ideas to set up your own West March at sea. Have a great day, and hope to see you soon.